Hello, everybody. My name is Brittany Churchill, and I am a lead teacher trainer on the talent development and community team at K-12. I wanted to take a little bit of time to share with you some great engagement strategies for MS teams. I know that many folks would be switching to MS Teams. Maybe your brick and mortar teacher in your school will be finishing out the year online through MS Teams. And so I wanted to show some great things that I have learned since starting to use MS Teams as a way, in my case, to engage teachers in professional learning communities and collaboration opportunities, which is a great way to use MS Teams as well, but can also be utilized for classroom instruction, for project-based learning, and really anything that you do in the brick and mortar environment can be done with a little bit of creativity online. So I just want your head to start processing that piece because we want to make sure that all the amazing things you do continue to happen in your online classroom. We want to support you in how to implement those best practices in the online environment and make those things come to life for you. So, we're going to talk about a couple of engaging ways or ways to engage students in MS Teams. The first being live sessions. We have the opportunity to do, again, all of the incredible things that you do with students, whole group, small group, and you can schedule those out based on what's best for you. So that's pretty cool because instead of transitioning your kiddos in the classroom, you can do so by scheduling a time for them to come in to your live sessions. And again, I would recommend doing the things that you do in the classroom, continuing to teach live lessons, have students respond on whiteboards, have students respond on paper and hold it up, have students speak on the microphone and dance and share their thinking on screen. We can really continue to engage students the same way we did in the brick and mortar online, but it does take a little bit of creativity. I'm going to share a couple of resources that are available to you online, and I'll show you exactly where I found them and share that information. So if you would like to go back to a demo and watch a longer demo or a training and watch more of that, definitely check out these resources, and I will provide them at the end of this video. So first, I just want to show you a couple navigation tips from an incredible resource online. And I search for things through MS Teams, and I'll share exactly who and where I found those things so that, again, you're able to find them with ease. But don't worry, I'll provide them for you as well. But if you want to follow along or watch more as you're going through this video, I will certainly let you know exactly where I found them and show them to you there. So first, I just want to share with you a little bit about meetings in MS Teams, which could be utilized for your classroom. I found this on YouTube just by searching MS Teams Meetings Demo, and there is a really incredible MS Teams support called Me Time, and you can subscribe there to get more consistent demos or updates, but I do want to let you know where that is so that you can subscribe if you like, if you find that to be a really helpful resource. We're just going to watch a couple of minutes of Me Time discuss some of the features in a meeting, and I will follow up with some of the ways that we might be able to engage students by using this meeting tool. And the wheels might be turning in your head already about what you can do, show, and experience with students through this resource. And you'll notice that in this particular demo, it is just the host who is in the classroom. But if you had more students, they would show up on that right side sidebar with just as much quality as he is showing up in that video there. Let's check it out.
So, if you waggle your mouse over the screen, you get this bar at the bottom, and this has got everything to do with your meeting now. When Teams first launched, there were some bits down the bottom here, and some things up in the top right that were pretty difficult to see. So it's good now everything's in one place. So you can see the time that the meeting's been running for. You can turn your camera on and off, and that's what it'd look like if you didn't have your camera on. Everyone would display their profile pic. You can mute or unmute yourself via the mute button. All those things should...
Quick pause for a best practice. when we want to shadow what we do in the brick and mortar or really empower engagement in the classroom, it is very powerful to make sure all students have their camera on. So a recommendation is to take a snip of this visual and make sure students know how to turn on their camera and microphone so that they can be even more engaged throughout class and meet your expectations throughout class as well.
Be pretty used to if you've ever run a call in any other bit of software. The main bit that's different in Teams, especially from Skype, is the share tray. So when you pop the share tray open, then you get a lot more options than we used to have in Skype. So if you just want to share your desktop and that's sharing everything on your desktop, you would just hit the desktop icon and that will share everything that you're doing on your screen, even when you flip between different applications, and is the most robust if you're presenting stuff because whatever you do will be shown, but I guess is the least private if you want to jump into your emails if you're presenting something else. You don't want people to see that. So,
And pause there again for another best practice. So many teachers that I know will use PowerPoint files to share visuals or lessons with students, and you can absolutely utilize your PowerPoints in this by sharing that PowerPoint. And you see in the middle there that you can share your desktop, your window, or specifically a PowerPoint. You'll also see that you can utilize a whiteboard. And we'll look at the whiteboard more specifically and more deeply in just a moment. But I want you guys to know that you can use lots of different resources here. You can even share your screen to show a video or something like that to empower more learning as well, or as a way to engage students. So there are a lot of options with what you can share directly in this space.
the window is then the opposite of that, in that you're just sharing one particular window with the rest of the call, and it's just got the windows that you've got open so far. And again, that's going to stream across your connection and to everyone else's computer live. If I just shared PowerPoint, for example, and then moved to my calendar, everyone else still just sees the PowerPoint. It doesn't flip between applications because you've only shared one application or one window. And
I hope you're getting lots of ideas and starting to figure out how to navigate MS Teams. The next thing I want to show you is it's an incredible engagement tool, the whiteboard. So beyond putting activities specifically into a PowerPoint and pushing that out and showing that in the meeting/classroom space, you can also have students work directly on the whiteboard. And a couple of folks from Unified Communications are going to show us how this can work. Now, they have a whiteboard pen, which most of us won't have, but you can use it the same way with your mouse or your your mouse pad on your laptop. So this can definitely be done the same way that they're sharing in this quick video. I do want to share who created this video really quickly with you so that you can easily find it. But again, I promise I will provide every resource I've shared here for later. But I know some of you might want to follow along, pause my video, go back to this video and finish it up. So feel free. I will show you and make sure to give that credit to the folks that created these videos so that we can protect and ensure that we know who these videos are coming from. So let's dig in deeper to whiteboards specifically, and the wheels might start to turn of how you can really implement this in your classroom. I do want to share who this came from. So this is from Ryan Herbst and Gerardo of Unified Communications, which again, you can subscribe directly here, and they have lots of great Microsoft Teams tutorials. So let's just take a minute here to see how you can utilize the whiteboard to support those live sessions with students.
Communications.com. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of Microsoft Whiteboard inside a Microsoft Teams room meeting. So I have a standard Microsoft Teams room system, or MTR here. It's the HP version, and I have a standard touch display. This is not a there's no PC attached to this. This is the display.
pause again. Of course, you don't have that display, or you may, and that's great. But if you don't, again, just a reminder, you can use your mouse pad or mouse the same way that he is utilizing the whiteboard with his touch screen.
Display for my room system, and it just happens to be touch enabled. So I'm going to join a Teams meeting and show you this experience. So I'm joining a scheduled Teams meeting. And Gerardo, who works on my team, is here. Hey Gerardo, how's it going?
Hey Gerardo.
Hi Ryan, good, yourself?
Great. So he's going to show us this experience. This is preview, but inside Teams, in the meeting itself, Gerardo can initiate a shared whiteboard session, which he's going to do. He can't do this from the room today, but that will be coming in the future. So he's starting the whiteboard, and then we're able to collaborate. I'm going to change my layout so I can see Gerardo and our whiteboard. And
if that comment was a little bit confusing, you can utilize this whiteboard as is now.
I think I had agreed to let Gerardo win on this demo. We'll see if that actually works. Coming up with your strategy? How about that?
Oh, is that right?
All right. So this was your demonstration, unifiedcommunications.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Teams Room Systems are really on fire. Super excited as these features keep coming. We'll keep sharing them. Thanks so much.
Pretty cool that you can draw directly on the whiteboard. So think about those things that maybe you had students do on the whiteboard. If they came up or you had multiple students come up to the whiteboard, they can do that same thing in the online whiteboard. So that might start to be something to be implemented maybe in your I do portion of the lesson, doing things on the whiteboard and having students practice on the whiteboard as well with smaller groups. And there's other ways that we can work with larger groups and some of the asynchronous tasks that we're going to talk about after this. But I want you guys to think about, again, everything that you do in the classroom. How can you do that in the online classroom using just the video like you see in the meeting space? Maybe students hold up their resources, their answers, and explain their thinking just like they would in the classroom with whiteboards. Maybe students have some time to work on the whiteboard independently in spaces with their name. So breaking off the whiteboard into the amount of students you have. Of course, that's easier with smaller groups, but you can also do it with larger groups by just making a quick page of squares and having students write their name and putting their work in that square as well. So the whiteboard is pretty incredible to see student work, to be able to give academic feedback, to teach, to practice, and again, to work independently. Now, I know that was pretty cool, and you have lots of ideas already because you are an incredible educator. But there is more in MS Teams than just that live class opportunity to support your students being engaged and learning through this crazy time and crazy transition to online learning. So the second engagement strategy that I want to talk about in MS Teams is discussions. Discussions are incredibly important, as you all know, to help students reach higher order thinking levels. So we want to offer opportunities, and of course you can have discussions in that live space, but you can also have discussions in MS Teams, and this can also happen in the moment. Let me show you some opportunities in discussions. And I'm not just going to talk about discussions. This second piece is really about asynchronous. Maybe I should have titled it asynchronous, but these are things that students can do asynchronously, and they will show up in real time. So if you're signed in, you can have conversations in real time with students, as well as give them feedback on maybe an assignment if you're in MS Teams at the moment. But this can also be seen as asynchronous tasks. So let me show you both of those things directly in MS Teams. Okay, so as you can see on this screen, that when you create an MS team, you have the opportunity to theme channels. Within these channels, you can put posts, which are the discussion piece. You can even add files, and that's where you can implement different activities for students to complete, provide resources, or even assign assignments. Here in the post, you'll see that there are some conversations between me and other teachers. Now, this space is more of a collaborative space for teachers for my purposes, but this is also a great opportunity for you to do that with your school or for you to do that with your students. And so here you'll see questions being asked on the post page, and I'm easily able to reply and, much like Facebook or Instagram feeds, be able to like, love, give an emoji to represent my feelings on the subject matter. And so there are a lot of cool things that can happen here. You can open up a public space, so you could have a prompting question here for students and have them respond and possibly like or comment on another student's response. That way you are still having students interact together, even though this particular piece, although in real time, is asynchronous, most likely, unless you assign folks to be on at a certain time and have them respond in a certain time frame, which it could absolutely be live as well. To have a conversation or to respond, all you have to do is type the @ sign, and you can start typing in that person's name, and that will come up. Now, you can have public discussions like this. You can also provide academic feedback or start a conversation, maybe working to continue building a relationship with a student, and you can always private chat them. Over here on the left side, it's chat. And all you need to do is click on a new chat, same thing, type their name, and you're able to chat with them privately. So some ideas for private chats are to share academic feedback on an assignment. Maybe someone didn't complete an assignment, to send them a reminder or to check in on them in these challenging times. There is a whole slew of things that you can do to engage students through private messaging and through discussions, as well as possibly sharing an assignment directly in MS Teams for them to complete. The third thing I want to share with you is praise. It is so important, as I know you know, to praise our students on the things that we want to see. Along with that, of course, we want to keep those same classroom management structures in the online environment as we do in the brick and mortar. So creating reward systems, goal systems are very powerful, and connecting those reward systems to things that students care about in the virtual world. Maybe that means they do a fun Kids Bop Kids video for our younger learners. Maybe that means that when they meet your expectations, complete assignments, do what you ask them to do, and meet expectations in your live sessions, that older students can earn bonus points. There are lots of ways for us to create buy-in with students, and praise is a huge piece of that. Now, of course, there's the praise that you naturally do, that you connect to your reward systems or goals or expectations in your class, but MS Teams also offers a really fun way to celebrate students and praise them. And I want to quickly show you that as our last engagement strategy or tool that can help engage students in MS Teams. All right, so we're going to dig into the Microsoft Teams Minute with this group called Onslow DLT, and you can subscribe with them. They also have great demos on how to utilize MS Teams. Again, I'll provide that resource after for you, but this is a great demo on how to send praise in Microsoft Teams.
This video is about how to provide feedback in Teams in the form of praise. So I'm in my creativity channel of my team, but this works in the conversation of any channel within any team. You're going to go to the 3 dots at the bottom of the conversation and select praise. You will have a list of several badges to choose from. Since I'm in the creativity channel, I'm going to choose the creative badge, and then you can either send it to your whole group or you can type specific names. So I'm going to type the names of my group members. And you can offer a personalized note or fun message. You can preview the badge, send, and it will show up in the conversation of your team with your selected users attached.
Welcome.
Pretty cool, right? So Some thoughts there on ways that we can implement praise are when you set the expectations with students, it can be an incentive that they earn a message from you, or you can connect it to that reward system. Maybe you verbalize praise and you don't send out praise in this way, but you can also use praise to give academic feedback. So when a student needs to make some edits or shifts in their assignment, you can send them praise using a badge which you can change the meanings of. So maybe it's a hard work badge, but they still need to do it again or make the edits to improve their grade or improve their project or assignment. So that's one way to use it. I've also seen many teachers who every time students meet their expectations, they send them a quick message. And that's awesome and something that you can utilize as well. Maybe you connect it to a goal, and when students receive a certain amount of praise badges, then they can earn blank. Maybe for our older students, they care about those bonus points, so I know that's going to be a big one for them. Maybe for our younger students, they earn a dance video on YouTube. Kids Bop Kids are great videos, as well as Go Noodle for maybe a brain break for our youngers or our littles. Many will be invested in something like a Fun Friday where they get to watch a movie or a portion of a movie, whatever you think would work, whatever incentives worked really well inside of the brick and mortar can work well online as well with a little bit of creativity, just like everything else that we've discussed today. I hope that you've enjoyed learning a little bit about navigation in MS Teams, as well as getting just a few ideas to help you engage your students in the classroom. K-12 cares, and we are here to help you in any way that we can. So please continue to check out these videos, these webinars. We'll be hosting live webinars as well, and really hope you can come and that these are helpful to you, because we find it to be a responsibility that we all support each other in this challenging time. So please feel free to come into any webinar, check out any video, and also utilize the videos that I've shared with you today as great resources as you're getting comfortable with MS Teams and thinking about best ways to implement those best practices that you have in your teaching, because you're an amazing teacher. Use what you know and what worked in the brick and mortar, and just think about how you can creatively do that in whatever software technology platforms that your school or you have chosen to be the best for you. Again, I hope this is helpful. I thank you for your time and hope you are well. Thank you. Bye.